Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
How we doing, people? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. How y'all doing? Let us know who we're hanging out with, who we are mock drafting with today. It's good to have you here. And we're excited to start the week off right with some mock drafts.
You already know what it is, baby.
I'm going to open my window up a little bit.
Yeah, open it up. Open it up. If you can see that I'm in a new setup ish, that's because I've moved. I am no longer in the old spot that I'm in, so I'm still bringing things together, still putting things together. So you'll probably see some new stuff coming out in the background here very soon. Some new lights coming up here very soon as well. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so if you look confused.
If they look confused, or if you look confused.
If it looks confusing, like, oh, where's Badake?
Right.
Doesn't look like the same setup that it was before. It's because I'm in a new spot.
Gotcha. All right, guys, what's Gucci? Welcome in. Hope you had a good weekend and hope your Monday is good. It's a Tuesday for us, and happy to have you along with us. Do us a favor, if you would be so kind, drop a like for us. The easiest way for you to support the show.
You like that?
To support the channel, to support the Fantasyland, DynastyLand brand. Appreciate y'all. We're doing a 2023 rookie mock draft today, and I tried to find a good landing spot like mock draft, and I thought I had one, but then the more I looked at it, I was like, what the heck is going on? I'll show you guys. So we're going to use Tankathon for today, I think. But let me show you guys the one I was rocking with. So I saw this mock draft and I was like, oh, that's really cool because they actually have the Bears going with Bryce Young. I just thought that would be cool to look at. But then the more you look through this one, right? Okay, Will Levis to the Colts. Okay, fair enough, right? Thanks for the sub, Jordan. Appreciate that. Michael Mayer to the Packers. That's not crazy. JSN to the Chargers is cool. Bijan to the Cowboys is hot. I mean, that's sexy, fire hot. But then we start getting into the second round. We got DJ Ungalele going off the board in the second round. Not sure why. We also have
Zach Evans in the second round to the Giants, by the way.
I love that. Tanner McKee goes to the Bears, and they just drafted Bryce Young.
Sheesh, man, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure we have like Tyler Van Dyke going in this draft as well, if I'm not mistaken. So it got a little too weird, unfortunately. So we had to kind of just go back to Tankathon, but it is difficult to find a good, solid, reliable mock draft at this very point. So we will go ahead and use Tankathon for today. I pasted that in the chat. You guys should be able to have access to it now. And let me change it in the description as well. So yes, if you refresh your page, you can now see in the description, there's also the Tankathon mock draft. So yeah, we will go ahead and use those. I know some people were talking about, some people on YouTube, like, hey, these guys do mock drafts. Well, we tried to reach out and they just weren't, they were busy. So we're trying our best to switch it up for you guys. I guess we could do our own, but when it comes to defensive players, we just don't know how to, like, where to put them and make it realistic. Yeah. But
exactly.
Definitely appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming in. What's up, McGungy? What's up, TD? What's up, Pigeon? G Money, Mason, Hippopotamus, love it. Jared. What's up, Jesse? James, what's up, my guy?
How you feeling, man?
What's up, McGungle? Jordan says, appreciate the content. Dynasty offseason, baby. That's right. Maxwell says, the first one has Tyler Van Dyke and DJ being drafted. Yeah. Casey says, hit me up. I'll create a mock draft for you. Do it, Casey. Hey, if you make something spicy, we'll have a look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Just do it.
Yeah. Algier Ungalele did go back to school. What's up, Ben? What's up, Hernandez family? PH.
Hernandez family.
So what's up, Johnny? What's up, Nick? Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Do us a favor, drop a like. We are doing a rookie mock draft.
Yeah.
So Badake, how can people join this mock draft if they want a chance to get in? How can they do so?
Yeah, all you have to do is join our Discord, guys. Link is in the description below. go there, join our Discord, and then go to Dynasty. Damn it. Go to Dynasty Mock Draft tab, and that's exactly where you would see us post that link to the mock draft. It is first come, first serve. We like to say all the time. First come, first serve. I'm so like out of it right now. I'm trying to think of a lot of things. So
Pick
yes,
a
it is
number
first
1
come.
to 12.
Oh, because Zach's talking. Then you're fine. So it's first come, first serve. Join our mock draft, and if you don't get in, it's okay because we go live every Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and maybe that will change with the time change, potentially coming here very soon if I'm not mistaken. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yes, first come, first serve here. Join our Discord in the link in the description below.
Yes, that's right. So why don't we go ahead and send out that link? Johnny says he can't join. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the link we use.
And join our not go on a phone, by the way, everyone. That's another hint that I like to say.
Yeah.
If you're trying to join if you're on a Discord via your phone, get a laptop out, maybe get an iPad out, and see if that response time is significantly faster for you, because that's how a lot of people get in. They get in on their laptop, on their computer, on their iPad. Maybe I don't think iPad will be as fast, but
okay, let's get this thing rolling though. Go ahead and send that link out to everyone over on Discord. Join our Discord, guys, if you want a chance. That's the only way we do this thing. So it filled up pretty quickly. So let's get on the same page. We're doing a 2023 rookie mock draft, right? This is super flex. It is not tight end premium, and it is PPR. We are using the landing spots from Tankathon, and we will go through those together now. We can see Bryce Young goes to the Texans. CJ Stroud goes to the Colts. I'm trying to see how zoomed in I can get there. CJ Stroud goes to the Colts. Will Levis to the Raiders. Anthony Richardson to the Panthers. Quentin Johnston to the Texans. Then we see Michael Mayer to the Lions. Bijan Robinson to the Bucks. JSN to the Ravens. Jordan Addison to the Jaguars, which is a very interesting landing spot. We get into the second round here. We see Jalen Hyatt to the Panthers. Zay Flowers to the Titans. Josh Downs to the Browns. Kayshon Boutte to the Packers. That's interesting. Luke Musgrave to the Commanders. They definitely have a need there. Jahmyr Gibbs goes to the Dolphins. That's hot. That is hot. We like to see that.
Yeah.
Tanner McKee to the Seahawks. Darnell Washington to the Chargers. Rashee Rice to the Giants. Devin A-Chain to the Bills in the second round. Zach Charbonnet goes to the Cardinals in the third. That's a good spot for him. Nathaniel Dell goes to the Patriots. Cedric Tillman to the Cowboys. Xavier Hutchinson to the Bills. Zach Evans to the Bengals. Parker Washington to the Chiefs. And Sam Laporta goes to the Giants. So those are the landing spots that we're using for today's mock draft. So why don't we go ahead and get this thing started. Take as much time as you want. And then we will pause it after each round and just discuss how that round went. So Bijan Robinson goes first overall. And he is a Tampa Bay Buck. Just doesn't matter where he goes, does it?
Doesn't matter where he goes. He is, the consensus 101 for everyone right about now. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Casey says laptop is the way in. Phone has you go through 3 screens before you letting you in.
Oh, yeah. Wow. There you go.
There you go. The more you know. All right. We see Bryce Young go at the 102, and Bryce Young is a Houston Texan, rather. We see CJ Stroud go off the board. CJ Stroud goes to the Colts. Man, there's just I just want some sort of real NFL trade to happen that just kind of,
shakes things
feels
up.
like we're just stuck right now. I just want something to kind of break open the gates, like I want something to happen that causes chaos.
Something's good. Something's bound to happen. Either that's a trade before the NFL Combine or right after potentially. So let's see how that pans out.
Okay, so JSN goes at the 1-4. He went to the Ravens in the first. Jahmyr Gibbs went to the Dolphins in the second, which we like that landing spots. And then Anthony Richardson goes to the 106. He is a Carolina Panther. We see Will Levis and Quentin Johnston off the board. So I'm on the board here at the 109. I have quite a few options available to me. Jordan Addison is there. I feel like that's the obvious answer. And let's keep in mind, where did Jordan Addison go? Where did Addison go, actually? He went to the Jags. Ooh, that's rough.
That sucks.
That's rough, but I think I'm going to go best player available. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't like the landing spot, but I'm still going to go best player available here. He is the best player available on my board. So I'll take Jordan Addison at the 109. Not ideal, but I guess in that scenario, you would see Addison and Calvin Ridley kind of share wide receiver 1 duties. Or maybe Jordan Addison would be a good complement to Calvin Ridley.
Maybe.
But I don't like that spot. Not in love with that one.
Zach Charbonnet went to the Arizona Cardinals in the 3rd round.
Yep.
See what Troy does here. A couple good options left for him.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Maxwell says, what's the best way to DM either of you? We don't really reply, just to be 100% honest and transparent with you guys. We don't really give advice to everyone in DMs anywhere. Our Patreon is the exception. People on Patreon we reply to, we give advice to them. But we're not just answering people's questions in DMs. You can join our Discord, though. Lots of people in there who have been having great conversations back and forth. Community of over 1,200 people. But yeah, people that we reply to directly would be people who support us on Patreon. We'd love to reply to everyone, but you know we still have lives outside of what we do, so it makes it tough. So Mayer goes off the board, and then Josh Downs. So Josh Downs went to the Browns. Is that right? In the 2nd round.
Josh Downs to the Browns in the 2nd round. Wow. Okay. But I'm not a rapper.
If Chase Brown or Josh Downs goes to the Browns, then it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Okay, so anything that surprised you in the 1st round here?
I would say Josh Downs. Everything else feels pretty normal.
Okay.
Josh Downs at the 112. I think there are some better talent that has a better landing spot, that have better landing spots than him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'll be leaning, which I'll probably take here right now as we continue this draft.
Okay. Yeah, this seemed like a pretty standard draft. Yeah, nothing really shocked me, to be honest. I mean, even Downs going there. Yeah, it's not that there's other options. I like Zay Flowers better as a talent, but you know, it doesn't seem crazy if Downs is your guy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the 2nd round. Do us a favor, guys. Drop a like on the stream. If we get to that 100 like mark, we will pop off a 2nd mock draft for you guys. So if you want to see a 2nd mock draft, do us a favor, drop a like. We get to that 100 like mark, which you guys help us get to quite often, then we will absolutely go ahead and pop off a 2nd mock draft for you. Get a full new group of people in here. Let's try and catch up with the chat while we use your time. Tried to acquire or not. Okay, Keishon Butte goes off.
Sorry, that was kind of like simultaneously.
Okay, talk to us about Keishon Butte.
So sorry, I just like the landing spot. Sorry, landing spot going to the Packers in the 2nd round. Okay. I think it just makes sense him going there, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, with Christian Watson.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think Butte was definitely someone that I kind of did not see. So I probably am going Butte over Downs there as well. It makes a lot of sense. A-Chain off the board. Where will A-Chain go in the real NFL draft, man? I mean, so many different opinions on the player. He goes to the Bills here in the 2nd round, which is exactly what they did last year with James Cook. So who knows? Who knows at this point exactly what's going to happen with A-Chain?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it just doesn't. It has to be specific. It has to be. Yeah. Well, are we still excited? I mean, I know we've been seeing him mocking first. We've seen we've seen mocking the 2nd. What happens if he falls to the 4th? You know, has like a Dameon Pierce draft capital. Are we still excited then? Or are we kind of like, okay, that makes sense?
Well, a lot of things can change, right? We'll see. Fourth round definitely doesn't excite you as much as second round. A lot of people are projecting him to go in the second round or third.
Yeah.
I would be pretty surprised if he doesn't go in one of those rounds, especially James Cook. No disrespect to James Cook, but if James Cook is a second round pick, no disrespect, I don't see how A-Chain is in a second round pick.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we see Xavier Hutchinson off the board, then Zay Flowers and Dalton Kincaid, as well as Jalen Hyatt, who falls to the 2-6. A lot of people are split on Jalen Hyatt. I believe
He went to the Panthers in the second.
Yeah, and he gets to link up with Anthony Richardson, which was the first pick for G Money. So G Money gets the Panthers stack here with the 1-6 and the 2-6, which is nice. You like to see that. Yeah. What's up, Kev? What's up, Leo? Yeah, we like the landing spot for Charbonnet as well. Best way to reach Zach and Badake is through their OnlyFans. Oh my goodness. Addison can work out of the slot. Yeah, he can work out of the slot for sure. Don't see Tyler Scott in this mock. Must have missed him. He's going second round. Yeah, it's I don't know, guys. No disrespect to Tyler Scott. I don't think he's worth a second round pick, but to each their own.
They really like him. I mean, I think
he's more of a fourth round pick in my mind, but yeah, he could go. I'm not saying he can't go in the second round. He definitely could, but he's much more of a fourth round value in my mind. Okay, so I'm on the clock here. Unfortunately, Sean Tucker and Zach Evans go right ahead of me. Just trying to make sure that I don't miss any players that have been drafted. I don't want to reach for a tight end just yet. Yeah, I don't want to reach for a tight end yet. I feel like I want to go tight end third round if I go tight end. Oops. So none of those guys were drafted. Let me see who's the best player available. For me, the next player available that I would be drafting, Parker Washington. Did Parker Washington go yet?
He didn't. He went to the Chiefs. Oh, he didn't go, but he did go to the Chiefs in the second or third.
Okay, I will take Parker Washington here at the 2-9. We like Parker Washington. Specifically, we like him in the slot.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that he gets a slot opportunity there in Kansas City. Sky Moore's probably the better fit at slot, but I'll take him there as he goes to KC. There goes Rashee Rice off the board. Kendre Miller off the board at the 2-11.
Yeah, I was hoping Richie Rice will fall to me there but he gets taken away, so that's okay. I got to think of some options. He goes to my Giant. I don't know if I love the thought process there, but once again,
of Rashee Rice.
If Joe Shane and Brian Daboll are drafted,
I think he makes sense there.
Just don't. I don't think he's the alpha. You know, like he's just he's a good wide receiver too. Do they bring in somebody else? You know, he's a good outside guy. Got Wandell in the slot. You know, I don't know.
I think it makes sense. Kendre goes off the board at the 2-11. Then we see Cedric Tillman off the board.
Yeah, Cedric Tillman. That's another guy I had. He went to the Cowboys.
In round 3.
In round 3, yeah, exactly. So
that makes he could definitely complement CD pretty well there. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I like that landing spot.
It definitely.
All right, anything here in the second round that surprised you? I wouldn't say any surprises necessarily. I would say Hutchinson over Flowers was surprising given the draft capital. Hutchinson went in the third to the Bills, which we like, but Flowers got that second round capital to the Titans. I've actually talked about. Actually, isn't this the exact spot I had for Zay Flowers when we
I think it was because
when we did our landing spot video.
Yeah, you had him complimenting Treylon Burks playing in the slot, Kyle Phillips on the other side, on the other outside.
Yeah, I like how you can envision Zay Flowers complimenting what they currently have there, including Treylon Burks. So, but yeah, I don't think anything is necessarily surprising. We'd obviously love to know where some of these running backs went. We're assuming that they're not in the first 3 rounds. So guys like Israel Boniconda, Chase Brown, Tank Bigsby, Rashawn Johnson, some of those names, Kenny McIntosh, we're assuming that they didn't get picked in the first 3 rounds. So difficult to draft them over some of these players who are off the board. But yeah, let's go ahead and start this third round. Do us a favor, guys. Go ahead and drop a like if you have yet to do so. If we hit the 100 like mark, that's our goal. If we hit that 100 like mark, we will do 2 mocks for you guys tonight. So we'll pop off a fresh one right after this. All new people. So if you want to see that, go ahead and drop a like for us. Easy way to support the show. You're on the board here. Let's just try. We can't keep up with everyone's comments, unfortunately, but we will try our best. If you do have something that you want us to respond to desperately, super chat is an option. Would I trade Cup for Bijan? I'll take Bijan over Cup in a heartbeat.
Agreed.
It's really an easy yes to the Bijan side. Packers are supposedly discussing with Rodgers. I've heard that. Let's see. It sounds like Rodgers could be moving on, but man, it's going to be tough for a team to trade for him. His contract.
I thought he was in his darkness retreat or something like that.
He is. He's at his darkness retreat. He is. Been looking more at Roshan Johnson and Jaden Reed. Those dudes could be sneaky. Yes, they could. Johnny loves your draft. You guys crush the Dynasty content this offseason. Appreciate that.
Oh, man. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Marvin. Sorry, man. We can't keep up with every comment, unfortunately. We're trying our best here. Let's get to this third round. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm doing another double check here, making sure this mock. I think I have to go best player available. Next best player available for me would be Izzy, my Brooklyn brother. So I'll take him here at the 3-1. Didn't get drafted, but if he can land in a good spot, we can definitely see him take the next step here.
I was definitely considering Izzy at the 2-9. Yeah, without him being drafted, it was difficult though, wasn't
it? Yeah, it is difficult. Sorry, I was just reading ATJ. Man,
you cut out there. You cut out there. Sorry.
No, I was reading ATJ's comment.
Yeah.
Like, glad to hear Badake's audio's back. Man sounded like he was drowning. Yeah, that was just in the videos. Where this is a little bit different. But audio, I can say we did record, and audio is good. It's up and running. It's live. It's in Zach's hands now.
Yes. So yeah, the audio is going to sound much better this week. Let's just leave it at that. Oh my gosh, I tried my absolute best to try and tinker with it and make it sound okay, but it just did not sound good.
No, yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yeah. As Kenny McIntosh goes off the board, Zach, how excited would you be with Xavier to the Bills? Yeah, I would love that. I just keep saying I want Xavier to get third round draft capital. That's a great landing spot. I do think he's a better prospect than Gabe Davis, so I could definitely envision seeing him develop into the wide receiver 2 there. And honestly, for him to develop behind a guy like Stephon Diggs, I like his route running. I think Diggs can absolutely teach him a couple things, and I think that's a fun spot for him, no doubt. As we see Luke Musgrave off the board,
man,
that's who I was gonna try and grab here. He goes to the Commanders. I know. I was trying to grab him here in the third round if he fell to me, but
man, that's a good pick. I probably would have taken him maybe, but
yeah. Izzy did not get drafted.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. McUngle says, with this draft capital and that new OC in DC, can't pass up the next Travis Kelce. Love it.
Yo, how are you feeling about that, by the way? I don't know if we had that conversation.
About being enemy?
Yeah, he's over there now. I'm seeing mixed reviews on, just everywhere. People like it, people don't like it. How are you feeling?
I want to give him a fair shot. So I would like to hold any real reservations until I see it in season. But it's kind of difficult because you really don't know
what he can do.
And some of that is not really on him, right? I mean, you watch the Super Bowl, and what did everyone say? Did you hear anyone talk about Eric Bieniemy during the Super Bowl? But you don't know which plays he wrote up, and you don't know which plays Andy Reid wrote up. They handled those responsibilities together. So it's actually quite difficult for him because we don't actually know what he contributed. If you ever saw a play from the Chiefs that was incredible, rightfully so, or maybe not rightfully so, because we don't know the context, who was given the praise? It was Andy Reid. And
well, yeah, I mean, he was, yeah.
It's difficult because we don't know who actually wrote up that play. Like, they handled those responsibilities together. So, on one hand, I am hesitant because I do think Andy Reid is something that you just cannot overlook. I also... I've heard a lot of rumors of Chiefs players not really meshing well with Bieniemy, and I don't know why that is. I'll take Rashawn Johnson here.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know why that is. I don't know why Chiefs players haven't melded well with him. Like, he's always kind of been the thorn in the side of the chemistry there, apparently, with the coaching staff. So I'm a little bit worried, but at the same time, someone like him with his accolades, I don't think he should have to take a lateral job, because being the offensive coordinator for Washington is definitely a downgrade, to be honest, from being the offensive coordinator in Kansas City. So I don't understand why someone like that should why someone like that should have to prove himself in a different area. But
yeah,
anyway,
I mean,
I don't really know what to think, honestly. I don't.
I think it's super hard when you have the best wide receiver. I mean, the best quarterback.
Yeah.
The best tight end. The
Sure.
best head coach. Like, it's so... And that's what the mainstream media is saying, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it Bieniemy really doing that, or was he just along for the ride, right? And that sucks because like you said, you don't know who to credit. It never is pointed to him. So a lot of people are saying, well, he needs to prove himself elsewhere as an offensive coordinator to get that head coaching job.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a GM and I'm saying, okay, Eric, we've seen what you've done, but is this really you? Because from what we know, Andy Reid makes the calling plays.
Yeah.
Calls the plays.
Sure.
Right.
It's
Like,
difficult.
how do you say, if I'm Eric, I'm like, shit, like, you're right. Like, I drew this play up, but Andy's calling it at the right time. Right? Like,
Yeah.
it sucks.
It's hard to really wrap your head around what exactly their roles were, and maybe that's what's given teams a lot of caution. I'll say this: I'm excited for him. From the perspective of, like, me being excited that he's on my team, not that I'm not excited. I don't think it's a game-changing signing personally.
Right, a game. But
Like, I'm not so sure that our offense
game-changing,
next year is, and I'll, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm not so sure that our offense next year is just going to take a massive leap because we have him in the building. But if we do, then I think a lot of people will start to put respect on his name. And I think it's smart from his perspective because, yes, it is a lateral move, but I don't see a scenario in which Ron Rivera keeps his job after ownership changes.
Yeah.
So when ownership changes, Bieniemy, if he is successful, right? Let's say Washington has a top 10 offense, but our defense collapses somehow. Yeah, I could see a scenario in which he could become the head coach there. So it makes sense for him to kind of pave his way there. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not really saying much. All I'm saying is I don't really know what to think.
I get you. I guess it's just, if you're looking for I don't know the off lands that many, or like, we don't know the assistants that wants to take a step up to an offensive coordinator, but he probably was the best offensive coordinator that was available.
Probably, yeah.
Out there. So you snag him up. But at the same time, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see and have a thought process.
You guys probably know JPA. He's a Washington fan, and
what did he say about it? Has he said anything?
He has a Instagram account called Washington Today, and I'll just read you what he said, which I found.
The clock, by the way, but it should be.
I found interesting. Yeah, I just paused it real quick so I could read this. He says the Commanders are hiring Eric Bieniemy as a new assistant head coach. Figure Bieniemy gets complete control of play calling and personnel stuff. Possibly even promise that he could take Rivera's spot if he retires / moves on from the team when new ownership is solidified in 2024. Just a big time hire. What a move to get a two-time Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator. Can't wait to see what he brings to the offense. So I am maybe more skeptical than your average Commanders fan. But I'm excited for him. I'll say this. I'm excited for him. If you can make Washington a good team, you'll have the NFL in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can do whatever you want to if you end up pulling that off. I'm on the board here. I'll go Dwayne McBride.
Not go for it. Casey was like, Zach's talking about not being sure about having been when he was already on his team and now still on his team.
I know. I did find it interesting because as a Chiefs fan, I was reading a lot of articles last year before the season about the disconnect between Bieniemy and the rest of the players. There's a quite obvious disconnect. But now him going to the Commanders, it is weird. Like, he just kind of stays on the teams that I support, but what can you do?
Yeah.
He won't get personnel control. No way does an assistant coach. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so Keaton Mitchell goes off the board, as well as C. Johnson. Who is C. Johnson? C.J. Johnson. I don't know anything about C.J. Johnson, so I can't really comment on him. Keaton Mitchell is definitely a fun player, though. Ridiculous type speed. Jaden Reed goes off the board in the 4th round. A lot of hype around the Senior Bowl for Jaden Reed. Puka is someone that we've talked up a lot as well. Reminds me a little bit of Alec Pierce. Tyler Scott off the board. I have no idea where Tyler Scott's going to go in the NFL draft. Some people are saying 2nd round. I don't think he's a 2nd round caliber player, caliber talent. But if he does go to the 2nd round, then awesome. Like, more power to him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's more like a 4th, 5th round pick in the NFL draft. Where do you see him going?
I would say the same. And if he does raise, he can go in the 4th. But I don't see him being a massive leap in. I don't see him raising his stock to the point where he goes third round, right? I think really good draft capital for Tyler Scott will probably be 4th round, and then what we expected is 5th or 6th. That's my thought process.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I definitely don't think he's a better player than Alec Pierce, and a lot of people are not sure if Alec Pierce should have gone in the 2nd round. His 40 time is 4.25. Yeah, he's fast. A lot of fast players that should not be 2nd round picks.
Probably faster, and he was 1st round. So
yeah.
It's just a lot of people out there.
All right, guys, our like goal was 100. We did not hit that like goal, so we'll probably just do a Q&A here. I mean, of course, if we can get to that like goal, we'll pop off another one for you guys. But why don't we do a Q&A here? Let's see. Sean says, have the 101 to 106. Jeez, like all of them? I have the 101 to 106, 108, and 109 this year. In a Superflex 12-team. Tried to tier up at quarterback. If forced, should I go Bijan, CJ, Young, Jason, Gibbs? Then with the 106, quarterback or wide receiver? I mean, Sean, you can do whatever you want, really. You can do whatever you want at that point. But yeah, if you need quarterback, go Bijan, and you have the luxury of taking both of these guys.
Agreed.
You could even go, if you need quarterback that desperately, then you could even go Anthony Richardson at the 106 after you take Jason and Gibbs. So yeah, you've got a lot of options there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sean says, don't know if I should go with A Rich, then take what's left over with the 108 and 109. Yeah, that's what I would do. Oh, he says I have Watson and Lance already. Honestly, okay. Sean, if I'm in your position, I'm probably going Bijan. I'll take one of CJ or Bryce, and I think I want to trade out of some of these picks, which we have a video coming out soon. We have a video coming out soon this week, which basically that video, it talks about what you could trade each pick for in the 1st round.
Yeah.
What would be a reasonable price to sell Ridley at? Here's the deal with Ridley. The person who owns him isn't going to take less than a 1st, and the person who's buying him isn't going to send a 1st. I think that's just the unfortunate reality. I have Ridley right now. I'm not selling him for a 2nd round pick. But so yeah, that's where the line is.
No, that makes sense.
Jasmine says I traded Judy for a 15th overall pick in a rookie draft. Yeah, I definitely would go Judy there. We talked about this before. We talk about it in a video that's coming out when we talk about each pick and what they're worth in the first round. We go from the 101 all the way to the 112 and tell you what you could trade each pick for. But Judy, in my mind, is more worth like the 107, 108 area. Yeah. Bennett says 10 team super flex. I have the 109, 201, 203. Need running backs. Everything else is stacked. What should I pay for Henry? I'm assuming that's Derrick Henry. I would try, man, in a 10 team though, because at the 201 and the 203, you can get running backs at those spots. I don't know, man. Probably the 201. Is that reasonable? But then that ends up being a first round pick in a 12.
Yeah, I would say 201 personally. I don't want to do it.
But that ends up being basically the 111. Yeah, I would say probably the 203 is what I would be looking to send away.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I want to trade out, but not sure if guys will do that. Yeah, if people aren't going to trade out with you, Sean, then for me, I would just take the best players available at each pick, and then you'll be able to trade eventually when people realize they have needs.
It's gonna get easier when they know the landings.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson goes to a good. Will Levis goes to a spot. They're gonna that, and they're gonna want to pay for more later. So definitely,
yeah.
Look out for that.
How many bench IR and taxi squads do you guys have in your league? So in our leagues, we have 11 bench spots, we have 2 IR spots, and we have 4 taxi spots. I just think if you're going over like 11 or 12 bench spots, I just don't understand what is the point of your waiver wire at that point. You know, right. If you're going over that, the waiver wire is already so bare. You're kind of devaluing it altogether and making it not a factor at all in your leagues. What would you guys value Fields at? Right around the 103 or 102. 102, because think about it. Would you rather have Fields or CJ or Bryce right now? I would rather have Fields.
I think we talked about him as well in that video, so
yeah,
keep that.
I would say right around the 102.
Yeah.
Probably the 101 you'd have to pay at this point. 8-man Dynasty PPR 2 quarterback. Super flex.
3.
So you can start 3 quarterbacks? Damn, I only have Fields. Best to take top 2 rookie quarterbacks over Bijan?
Or Bijan and Bryce. I would take Bijan and a quarterback personally.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, whichever quarterback you prefer.
Yeah. How do you feel about a projected late 24 first for JMO? I struggle to trade future picks because you can't really project where they're going to be. But I do want Jameson Williams if it was indeed going to be late, meaning 110 to 112.
Yeah.
What do you think will end up being consensus a 106? Probably Anthony Richardson or Will Levis.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a lot of guys. I mean, all depending on the draft capital where they get picked. I think it could be nasty. Those quarterbacks, it can be Quentin. Just really depends.
Yeah. Would it be a huge mistake to drop Malik Willis in a 1 quarterback? No. Depends on how big your league is, though.
Yeah. Also depends.
I'm probably holding on to him, but in a 1 quarterback.
1 quarterback, I'm happy to drop. Tyler Conklin worth holding for the Jets, get a quarterback upgrade. I'm happy to hold Tyler Conklin as well, personally, in that scenario.
Would you rather have the 101 and 109 or AJ Brown and Barkley? I'm going to go 101 and 109 there, but that's close.
I think that's even. I'm happy either way. I think once Barkley gets signed, I would say AJ.
Wish being me the best. I personally don't think him not getting hired has anything to do with involvement with KC. Fortunately, I believe there are other factors at play. Yeah, that definitely could be true. Definitely could be true.
Maybe.
I heard Mike, who is it? Max Kellerman on his show. He had Keyshawn Johnson and I can't remember who else, but they talked about that. Ben Dover.
Ben
Incredible
Dover, baby.
name. 104 and 111 or Garrett Wilson. Probably an overpay for Garrett a little bit.
Probably an overpay for Garrett Wilson, but I mean 104.
I feel like the 103 feels like even value for Garrett, but the 104 and the 111. I mean, you can get JS in there and then take whatever running back you want. We love Garrett Wilson, but I just don't think you should have to pay that much. I'd rather that be the 104 and like the 203 or something, or the 204 or 5. You know, that's how I would view it. Jasmine says, I'm going into rookie drafts with the 7th, 13th, 15th, and 16th overall picks. Pretty pumped. Love that for you. Jesse James, thank you so much for the super chat, man. That's very kind of you.
Appreciate you, brother. That's awesome.
Says thanks for being you. Appreciate that. Jesse's been awesome. Just support us on Patreon as well. There comes the donation. By the way, shout out to Big Breakfast, Matthew Stowe, Benjamin Leschk, some of those guys who started to support us on Patreon here in the last week. We'll definitely message you guys today and get you set up. But Jesse, thank you so much for the donation, man. That's very, very kind of you. So the 104 and 105 is good value for Fields. Yes. I don't think you should be able to get Fields for that, personally.
You mean like you want him? You mean you need it to be more?
I think Fields is worth more than that.
Right. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. So I think that's what I think that once again that comes into the video, which I can't remember off the top of my head what we said. It's either 103 or it's either from 103 or the 105. I just can't pinpoint it right now, but it's definitely one of those picks. It should be coming out this week.
Traded CMC for London in the 103 and a non-super flex. CMC for London in the 103.
London, I'm okay with that.
I like it. I hope you can get Gibbs at the 103.
Yeah.
12-man, Alex says 12-man, one quarterback, thinking about trading away the 110, the 204 for an early/mid. Next to
I think this is also something we spoke about in the video. Right? I mean, 110, 204 for an early mid to next, like a random.
I'm guessing he's saying like 2024. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
So you're trading the 110 and the 204 for an early to mid first next year is what I think he's saying, which I'm okay with. And a one quarterback as well.
That's how I'm understanding it. Yes.
Trenton says thought process was buying low in London while he was low on replacing CMC with Gibbs. I like it.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart. 102 and 108 or Kyler in the 106. I think I'm going Kyler in the 106 there.
Kyler 106.
Should we be selling Saquon or rolling with him? I would be selling him if the price is right. If I can get the 104 or so, I would be selling Saquon.
I would agree there, but I'm happy to. I'm in a good space to keep him as well.
Yeah. 10-team Superflex have the 102 and 103. I'm stacked at every position, but running backs and have Burrow, Watson, and Garoppolo at quarterback. If I can't get adequate value for either pick, should I just trade them cheap or draft a quarterback? For me, my answer is always going to be draft the best player available, and then you can trade later. There are people who will want Bryce Young, who will want CJ Stroud, and if they're not willing to trade with you now, they will trade with you later. So my advice would just be draft the best player available. You prefer snake or auction? We prefer snake. Auction is just not fun. I'm not saying it's not the best way to value players or the most even way to do it. I just don't think it's fun. Like, I've been in auction drafts and I'm just like, this is boring, dude. Like, I mean, how long is this going to go on for? And it just, I don't know. But to each their own. Like, if you prefer auction, I think it is a more even way to distribute players in a startup. But I just think it's boring. So,
I get you.
Fantasy should be fun. You know, fantasy should be fun. So that's just the way we go about it.
Whatever's fun for you, I think that's what I would say. If you like auction, go with auction. If you don't like auction, you know, do whatever you like.
No, that's a good point. S. Harris, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. It's very kind of you. Says back with another question. 10-team, one quarterback. Give the 102 and Jameson Williams for Pacheco and Garrett Wilson.
No.
Do not want to pay that price for Pacheco. I got no problems with Garrett Wilson, but absolutely not. Not for a 7th round running back. I don't care how well they did. You know.
Yeah, no, thank you. I don't want Pacheco. If anything, I think it's good time to sell Pacheco because,
Oh yeah,
like Zach said, 7th round draft capital. I mean, we even did it we did a 1 quarterback mock today, and a running back went in the 4th round, and we were saying, okay, well, higher draft capital
to the Chiefs.
Yeah, to the Chiefs, higher draft capital. Maybe he either takes the full workload or is a 50-50 workload, right? So I'd rather trade Pacheco away now before we know who's coming in and taking opportunities in the backfield.
Agreed. I think that's, if you can get that kind of value for Pacheco, the other side is winning by a landslide in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
If Rodgers gets traded, what will Love's value be? Probably, I mean, I'm taking Jordan Love over Kirk Cousins, over Geno Smith, even though some people might see that as disrespectful. I'm probably taking him over Jared Goff. I think that line is like Russell Wilson, Will Levis, Daniel Jones, around that territory. That's where your quarterback.
Ooh.
Daniel Jones is obviously more valuable. Hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm definitely taking Daniel Jones every day over Jordan Love right now. What I'm saying is Jordan Love kind of creeps into that top 20 easily category.
Yes, I would agree there. Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm still going Pickett. I'm still going Pickett. I'm still going Daniel Jones. I'm still going Anthony Richardson. Now I need to answer, do I want Will Levis or Jordan Love? Do I want Jared Goff or Jordan Love? Russell Wilson or Jordan Love? I think that's where we have. I'm definitely going Love over Carr. Yeah.
I think I'd rather have Russell Wilson over Jordan Love. I think for me it gets to the gray area: Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Geno. I think of Matthew Stafford-ish, but I think I'll definitely take Jordan Love over Matthew Stafford. I think that's the gray area for me. Okay, Geno 2-year contract or Jordan Love. Derek Carr on the Jets, Jordan Love. I think that's where it's shaky for me.
Right now I have Jordan Love as my quarterback 24. I have Love ahead of Mac Jones already without knowing what's going to happen. I have Love ahead of Matthew Stafford, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, ahead of Derek Carr. What are your guys' thoughts on Akers?
Same.
Yeah.
No,
what are you guys' thoughts? Sorry.
Sorry. Continue. What are you guys' thoughts on Akers?
Dude finished strong. At one point was viewed as a Dynasty RB3. I kind of got to stick to my guns. I've been out. I was out last year. I thought it was way too high of a price. I've been a sell for a long time. I'm kind of still there, man. I really struggle to see how the Rams don't draft the running back in this year's draft or sign a free agent to compete with Cam. I just don't see how Cam is signed to a long-term deal when the Rams know it's a business. Thank you so much for the sub, Jeff. The Rams know it's a business. Would you invest in a running back who has an Achilles injury? Maybe you give him a 1-year deal. You're certainly not giving him a 3 or 4 year deal for big money. Maybe it's small money, but then the investment makes you question how much they're committed to him. So
yeah,
I'm still out.
I think it's a bit tough for Cam Akers. I think there's hope in the upside of him coming back strong the way he finished this past year. But I agree with Zach. Do they draft a Zach Evans? Do they draft a Sean Tucker? I think if we see one of those guys, it's going to be harder for the pathway. But I personally think Sean McVay made the wrong wanting to do a 50-50 split. My personal decision or thought process. I think Cam Akers probably would have his view would have looked different if he would have just started strong and Sean not either second guess what he probably thought of who Cam Akers was. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. 90 people watching, like the video, appreciate that. Sam Howell season, yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah. I've talked about Sam Howell in a video recently. Do you grade IDP teams? No, we don't. Sorry, there's definitely people who do that though. I'll take the quarterbacks that are producing before I take a rando unproven asset. All right.
Fair.
What's Pitts' current value right now in terms of picks? I think the 104 was the earliest pick I'd be willing to kind of
Yeah.
start a conversation around. I still want in Superflex those two quarterbacks. Then I think JSN, Kyle Pitts. And I think that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Would you prefer Love and the 204 over Pickett if Rodgers gets traded? Would I prefer Love and the 204 over Pickett? I think that 204 needs to be higher.
Yeah, I think you asked this question, ACJ. I think I said I would go. I think it's tough, but I'm leaning Pickett just based off of the team, based off of Mike Tomlin, Najee Harris, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Pat the Dragon. I trust Mike Tomlin so much more than with Pickett than what I know what Love can be with
It's a
the team in Green
good
Bay.
Organization to build a quarterback.
It's the same
I
thing.
just think
the same thing with the Steelers.
The 204 doesn't give me enough to justify moving the needle. I would need the 201 probably. 12-team Superflex, full PPR. Did I sell too low? Sent the 101 for 102, Daniel 110, and Daniel Jones. So you sent Bijan Robinson away for Bryce Young, Jordan Addison, or Zach Charbonnet, and Daniel Jones. In a Superflex league, no, I don't think you sold too low.
Yeah, I'm okay with that trade as well.
Yeah, I mean, you still get the 102. You just hopefully you don't need a running back because Bijan would have been the answer. Thoughts on Akers? Not nearly as big as Hector's. Hectakers. Hector. How do you say that? Hectakers?
Hectors.
Heckacres.
Hectares.
Anyway, we should stop. Akers or Ramondre? Definitely Ramondre.
Yeah.
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 109 or Stephon Diggs? Depends. Are you competing? Are you not? Because probably Diggs. Probably Diggs is the answer. But if you can get Addison, then I definitely am intrigued about doing that swap.
Yeah, I think it's an even trade. I think once again another one where we kind of break it down and we bring some players on it. Same thing with the 107 with Swift. I think that's also. I think Swifty was 106 or 107. Or sorry, 108, 107, 108. So I think both of those trades are even, just depending on what you want to do. Do you want a younger running back? Can you get a Zach Charbonnet if he does get good draft capital? Would you rather have a Will Levis or Anthony Richardson at the 107? Same thing at the 109. Jordan Addison, Kayshawn Booty. Do they land there at the 109? So it all depends on that draft capital and which way you want to build your team.
All I'll say is buy Russell Westbrook right now. Buy Russell Westbrook. Headed to the Clippers.
Is it just
buy Russell Westbrook.
Is that
it happened a couple days ago?
Okay, I don't know basketball shit into the playoffs. Still in the playoffs, boys. I'm an NBA fan in the playoffs.
107 or Swift. We definitely would go the 107. Y'all got any plans to the US? Soon, hopefully. All right, last question we'll answer is from Dylan. 104, unless there's any super chat that you guys desperately need an answer to. Otherwise, we'll probably call it for the day. 104, 111, 112, or Justin Herbert. This is pretty easily Justin Herbert for me. Not to disrespect the 104 onwards, but I don't know. I'm going Herbert here. The players that I can get at the 111 and the 112 don't move the needle enough for me to move off of Justin Herbert, a young player that we project to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for the next 10 years. So,
you hear that, Tommy? You hear that? I know you're in the chat. I know you heard that. I know you sent me so send me something better.
What's up, Bricks? What's up,
boy, Bricks?
All right, guys, that's probably going to be it for today.
Yeah, that's fair. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all. I mean, if there's any last minute questions, well, I mean, we already answered the last question. But anyway, just so you guys know what's going on with us, a lot of content coming out this week that we are excited about. And I think it's a lot of experimental content as well. Like we want to see how these types of videos go. We have a video where we're essentially talking about taxi decisions, what players are worth keeping, what players are worth dropping from the 2022 class. we're looking at what every pick in the 23 first round is worth. So the 101 all the way to the 112, what would those be worth in a trade? We are doing a buy or sell. We're bringing buy or sells back. We're going to do a buy or sell on Christian Watson. We're going to be doing a rebuild for someone's team over on Discord. We're going to be doing quarterback rankings. And, of course, Dynasty trades. As always, that's a weekly show.
That's right.
So I'm interested to see how some of that content goes. Some of it's experimental. Some of it we have done before. But, hey, if you have yet to do so, do us a favor. We're both on Twitter. So drop us a follow here on Twitter. I'll put my at there, and then we'll put Badake's Badake as well if you want to give us a follow. You know, we're trying to grow the Twitter presence a little bit. We're not focused on it too much, but we're trying to be more active and tweet some things out, giving some advice out as well on how to value rookies.
A little tweet out there, you know?
Yeah. We did drop merch. If you guys don't know, now you know. We dropped merch last week. Really, really appreciate all the orders that we've seen so far. You guys have been awesome. And we got ideas for more merch. So go check that out. I think the 15% expires today. Yes, it does. So you can get 15% off, but it does expire today. So this is the last day to get 15% off the site. You can go have a look through it, see if you want to buy anything. You know, if you like what we're putting out, then consider it. Otherwise, no.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get my stuff. Still haven't gotten it, but yeah, I'm excited. We got a couple people in the chat or the Discord that sent us photos, which was awesome. So we appreciate you guys that bought that. And if you do get your stuff, and if you've already gotten it, send us a photo of it. Put it in the Discord. We definitely would love to see it. Just to see how the quality looks and everything. So yeah. And
then you can sign up to our Patreon if you want to get essentially it's a Dynasty draft guide for the 2023 class, for startup drafts, those kind of things, as well as much more. So check that out. Easy way to support the show. Big shout out to everyone who has recently signed up over on Patreon. Big Breakfast, Matthew Stowe, Zach, Benjamin, Millie, Matt. Appreciate everyone over there. But I think that is going to be it for today. Appreciate you guys. We will see you very, very soon.
Love y'all. Love.
All love. Later.